Let's take a closer look at what's driving some of the action beneath the numbers. We'll check in with our reporters now. Abigail, what are you watching?
Scarlett, I'm thinking about the bulls because today we, of course, had a higher close for stocks, the second period in a row, so the bulls in charge. But a sentiment reading, the AAII readings for the bulls is at a 3-year low. However, in the context of this chart relative to valuation, that may be a bullish message because if we go back to 2016 in white, we see the AAII bulls reading at a 5-year low, really, and we see valuation climbing. Ultimately, that worked out as investors came out of that corrective trough. A similar situation into 2017, into the all-time highs of January. Right now, we're looking at another divergence where the AAII bulls, again, at a 3-year low, valuation at a 2-year high. The last 2 times where we've seen a divergence like that, Taylor, it has been the bulls that have caught up. Often this is seen as a contrarian reader. So who knows? Maybe gains will be ahead as we go into the end of the year, Taylor, for stocks.
Well, Abigail, I'm taking a look at shares of Fastenal. Now, they're up about 1.2%. This is ahead of reporting earnings tomorrow. A lot of analysts are looking for this company to be the bellwether on how we are doing as it comes to the trade fight and how that is folding out with both the economy and the industrials. Fastenal, as we know, gets about 80% of its sales from customers that operate in both the manufacturing and the construction markets. Interestingly enough, if you come and take a look at a chart that I'm showing here in my Bloomberg terminal, industrials now have been lagging for the 3rd straight quarter. This is percent change of performance relative to the S&P 500. Analysts with Fastenal, for example, are expecting a very tepid quarter and are recommending a cautious stance overall to the group. Baird specifically about Fastenal saying that risks are growing. You have gross margin concerns, rising labor and freight costs, and a 2019 earnings growth deceleration. So again, all eyes on Fastenal and the industrials tomorrow to see how this trade war really is playing out on the fundamentals. Renita?
Taylor, speaking of industrials, I'm taking a look at copper futures, which are up more than 1.5% amid optimism over a partial U.S.-China trade deal. Now, President Donald Trump said he will meet with the Chinese vice premier on Friday, and copper futures saw spikes during February and April, and the metal is now around where it was a year ago at the beginning of the year. While analysts, however, say that a trade deal could be positive for copper and other base metals, prices for the near term, this S&P Global Ratings that was released on Wednesday actually cut the 2020 copper outlook to $6,000 a ton from $6,500 a ton due to diminishing global trade flows and expected slower global economic growth.